Yo, we got Joe Budden versus the Ops, Joe Budden versus the world. Y'all let me know what the title is. But basically, we have to basically break down these cryptic tweets by Joe Budden in QueenzFlip and Ian because we have to see, is there something deeper going on or is it all content? Let me know what y'all think. But first, we have to look at the first tweet suspect that lets me know that something is brewing and we just don't know. So Joe Budden alludes to finally some truth. That's the first thing he tweeted around like 7:17 p.m. Now, let me give y'all some context. Around this time, there was, I believe, a spaces going on where Taxstone had either joined or created his own space. So that was around the time where like spaces with Taxstone had started. If you guys don't know, between this Taxstone and Joe Budden beef, there is or have been a brewing beef for a while. So now we go into the next tweet that let me know that, oh yeah, something is up and it's stuck. We hear Joe Budden tweets, I'm feeling like, oh, you niggas. This is what Joe Budden said. And you know, the period when you tweet something, the period says a lot more than the actual tweet, y'all. So he said, I'm feeling like you niggas. And that to me let me know that, all right, either he's about to say something or he's about to like expose something or he's about to, because there's a tweet that I believe that I don't know if I'm going to get to, but he was like, bro, all right, y'all ain't never seen bullies till I'm about to bully now. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just crazy. Right now, he's on something. We don't know what he on, but he's sensing something. But to me, he sees the op stuff going on, because let me break this down for y'all for some context. You got a whole space, even if they don't talk about the dude. This is just, if you got to put yourself in different people's shoes, right? Perspectives plays a role in all of this. You chilling, you gave this dude, Danny from the Stop, a lot of like, whatever the hell, right? He built his channel off of your content, all that stuff, right? So you know what I'm saying? You create even if it's a love or hate thing, it's a real, it's something there, right? Connection. You get to talk to the guy, or the guy gets to talk to you, right? Now something happens, boom, boom, boom. Y'all fall out. Now he goes and he joins with your other ops, like your original ops before all of this. Now he with Rocky Thunder. Now he with Taxstone. Then you got Rory and Maul up there. So now you got that, and then on top of that, the beef that Joe has with all of those people, or not the beef, but just say, let's say the past stuff that went on with them isn't the lightest or the cutest, right? And the stuff that's being said between one side is not the nicest. So it's like, you guys got to let me know what y'all think in the comments below, because I'm just trying to break this down how I see it. And I'm trying to break it down as understandable as possible, because like, I feel like it's not blown out of proportion. Like, we're not trying to say, oh, this is going to be violent and all that stuff. We're just saying that this could be content, or this could be actual, just like, all right, Joe about to wake it up, or like something about to happen, or like somebody really got fired. That's really what the question is. We're trying to see if QueenzFlip either got fired and is he about to wake it up with Rory, or is he about to go on that side? But let's see what happens next. So then he says, when I get on my, I don't want to hear nothing about bullying either. Y'all been asking for it. Period. I'm trying to tell y'all, that period that Joe be putting, it means a lot, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. If y'all ever texted someone and y'all wanted to keep it short, and like you was really mad and you just know that period about to like, I don't even want to keep it going because I want to let them figure it out. Period. I don't know, but like, y'all let me know. So he basically was like, I'm about to wake it all up. I'm about to go crazy. I'm about to show everybody how I really move, right? That you can't play with me, right? You're not just going to play with me. I'm not just someone that's going to sit down and just take a beating all day and have people talk down on my name all day. He's planning something. We don't know what it is, but he planning something. You know what I'm saying? Joe is a Virgo, so I believe he's extremely organized in somewhat sense. He might be an organized chaos, but either way, I feel like there's something brewing and we have to keep an eye on it. That's why I'm even making this video, because like, the people who follow Joe Budden know that there's something going on. We trying to figure it out. All of us really trying to figure it out. I don't know if this is towards Danny from the Stop or more towards QueenzFlip. Now, obviously, I think it was more towards Danny from the Stop from the beginning, but then it kind of ended up being more towards QueenzFlip, I guess, as he was tweeting, QueenzFlip was tweeting. But let's basically keep going, right? So then he said, woke up to the good word of the gospel to rid the oppy stench in the air. Blessed. He says that this morning of this recording, right? So I'm like, whoa, I be stenching the air, Joe. Because right before, when I saw the first couple tweets, I was like, all right, I see what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? He just waking it up a little bit, just showing people that he paying attention. Then he was like, he had to wake up to get the good word of the gospel, to get rid of the oppie stench in the air. That's like a bar. And I look at everything like bars when it comes to this guy. I mean, I feel like any performer rapper always is gonna have like this, like they can't help it. It's like a natural thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a metaphor. So I know that clearly he knows that they were up all night, 5 hours, 6 hour spaces, not talking about Joe, but obviously it's just not the nicest of looks. If you know that one of the person you helped, and the other ones, you know that they know your enemies and they just all up in there and they all don't like you. Even if it's not about you, it's just the energy, the sense, the timing, read the room type energy. A lot of people can't really read the room. A lot of people have problems with that. A lot of people don't have like a natural loyalty to like you know what I'm saying? But either way, let's keep it going. So then QueenzFlip basically said, I don't know why, but my homie just called me about 10 minutes ago and asked me if I had or had issues with Rory and Mal. My answer was no. QueenzFlip, when he put the all caps, that no was very loud, so I just did it, more of a house sound, you know what I'm saying? Because he probably screamed the hell out of that no. Those guys have supported Flip the Script pod. Now, see, let me stop there, y'all. The reason why I think he put that those guys have supported Flip the Script pod, I think that's a sub jab to Joe. Now, this is when I thought, because this was 13 hours ago, and when Joe said woke up and get rid of all that oppie stenchy in the air, that was more recent than his 13 hours ago tweet. But 13 hours ago, he also said, F all you dudes, right? So I'm just trying to break it down to y'all. So around the time that Flip sent those messages, Joe was tweeting as well, right? Joe also said ain't no neutral, right? So then you guys got to understand, once he said flip the script, that's why I know that, okay, he's alluding to Joe Budden not supporting him in his podcast, or like a lot of times when Tax Tone speaks, he talks about Joe Budden basically not helping people or wanting to push people back. Like if they, like he'll go sign you so that you don't become the number one draft pick or something like that. And I think that's why he said those guys have supported Flip the Script in terms of like they might have shouted it out or did all that stuff, because QueenzFlip couldn't really self-promote himself a lot on the pod. Like that was like an inside joke or outside joke. Either way, like there was like, oh, why are you always, selling yourself type shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I feel like that's really what it is. I feel like Flip wanted to grow his brand with the Joe Budden brand, but he felt like he was probably suppressed or being suppressed from actually creating more of his content at the same time. I don't know. This is all my theories. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all probably know way more than me. I'm just trying to figure it out, bro. Like, to be honest, it's just like, it's like fun to kind of investigate like mysterious stuff, because it could just be all content. It could be all just a bunch of nothing, but it is fun to just talk about or like cryptically try to figure it out, right? That's why this whole thing is basically me cryptically trying to break down these tweets, right? So just bear with me because I'm really trying to figure everything out, right? So, and then he later on continues to say, and I said if it wasn't an issue, I would say their name, their support was and is appreciated. I'm from Queens. Now, mind y'all, when he said their support was and is, that seems like the relationship has ended or the work has ended between the two. I don't know why he said was. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't it be just is their support is appreciated because they're appreciated? But he doesn't say their support for his pod. He didn't reiterate that Joe supports basically Flip the Script. So you guys got to understand, all of this stuff is basically underlining issues that's coming out that we knew that kind of, I thought they were playing a lot, but it might have not been playing. So he said, so Joe Budden tweeted, ain't no neutral. Then QueenzFlip says, come outside and get off of Twitter. Mind y'all, Joe is outside. Like Joe is like, doing his Joe stuff. He's on a pod doing his pod stuff. So it's kind of like, bro, what are you talking about? So now he's like, come outside. Like, what does that mean? So now you guys remember that beef when Kendrick Lamar and Drake, right? Now remember, Kendrick was chilling. until Drake said come outside, right? Then now everybody's saying he hating on him, right? He hating on Kendrick, sheep energy. Now, QueenzFlip just called out Joe. He basically said, hey, yo, come outside, G. Get off of Twitter. I'm like, whoa, what type of energy is going on? So now we getting them to tweet each other, but we don't know what the hell going on. They're not giving us no information. Like I said, could be content or could be some serious issues. We don't know, but bro, this is kind of getting interesting. So now, after that, Joe Budden says, when I get on my, I don't want to hear nothing about bullying either. Y'all been asking for it. So QueenzFlip was like, who you talking about? I'm around. That's what he quoted. But the thing is, to me, Joe probably wasn't even talking about Queens. I think he was talking more about the spaces with Taxstone ops. But Queens is probably in his own mind thinking, Joe probably going to try to say some slick stuff. I don't know. I don't really know. This is probably just what I'm thinking because Flip kind of is more, he's more reactionary than kind of think things through. You know what I'm saying? He's an entertainer, so that's why he kind of does that. But he kind of reacts first before he kind of really understands what's really going on. That's why in the next few tweets, he's gonna basically be like, oh my man's called me thinking about the spaces, or I didn't know, like that type of stuff. Like he don't be knowing, but he'll react or tweet about it before he really know the whole context or information. I really feel like Joe was talking more about Taxstone in them, but QueenzFlip is talking straight up to Joe, like, yo, don't let me wake it up. Because I think QueenzFlip is itching to wake it up because a lot of times his issues were on the pod was that he would bring out information that would be private. He'll bring it out on the pod and he doesn't have that read the room energy. Or that's what he's lacking right now. Like this is exposing one of his major weaknesses is reading the energy, reading the room. If Joe is alluding to something, you're closer to Joe, make a phone call. I'm thinking it's totally all the stuff is about Taxstone and the spaces that it's with Rocky, Thunder, Rory, and Maul. That's what I think this is about. But Queens think it's about him. So you guys understand, this is why this could be brewing something if there's no phone calls made. I don't know. Something's gonna have to be made between both parties. They got to clear their side up personally because I feel like they're misconstruing each other, right? So then Ian says this morning, right? People who struggle to get anywhere get comfortable in chaos. So they resort to the same chaos when situations get uncomfortable. Instead of learning better coping mechanisms and healthier paths forward, they work harder, not smarter. Who does that sound like? Like, I know that sounds crazy, but bro, who that sound like, bro? That sounds like something clearly about Flip. Now, mind y'all, why would Ian say something like this in the start of the morning, right? Like, we know Ian as a motivational tweeter here and there, like, oh, get your life together, or like, oh, loyalty is this and all this stuff like that, right? So when he's saying people who struggle to get anywhere and get comfortable in chaos, like that sounds like how they talk to Flip on the podcast, especially when he was on his therapy improv, how they kind of like break him down a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I think you just feel good in chaos and you like chaotic stuff and all this stuff like that. So then QueenzFlip, you know how he is. He said, I know you're not talking about me on Twitter. Who is this about? I'm like, bro, this is getting wild. So now we actually have some stuff going on to where people are actually responding to each other and it's getting a lot more serious, right? So then somebody said, I'm starting to see how much of a weirdo Flip is. I thought this was all an act. Then he said, can I show you my power in your city? Or you don't want to see that either, right? But what I'm really trying to get is what Ian responded, right? Because Ian responded to Flip basically saying that if it was some issue, I'll basically at you, right? Right? He basically said, not everything is about you. I would have at you if I was talking about you. Actually, I would have called you first, then at you on here. What did I tell y'all? Oh my God. I'm trying to tell y'all looking at my live reaction, my live breakdown. Because basically he said exactly what I said recently, right? When I said that Queens could have just called Joe Budden like, yo, is this about me, G? Like, what's going on? You accepting a call from a friend about a space, bro. Just call Joe Budden. So that's why I feel like Ian said this, because Ian to me is like, he's like, I wouldn't say he's passive aggressive, but he plays on a borderline passive aggressive role. That's a passive aggressive response, because matter of fact, it's not really passive aggressive. He really said exactly how he felt, but he could have gave up more on it. Like, bro, like last night, like how you could have just called Joe type. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like he's alluding to that. So then he says, and then QueenzFlip says, well, when you want the truth, I have no choice but to concede, basically. Right? So then Ian says, wait, now that we're on it, why did my tweet bother you in the first place? See, now this isn't passive aggressive, Ian. This is straight up, hey, I'm addressing the issue, Ian. Now, this could grow more because this recently was just tweeted like 13 minutes ago, 21 minutes ago. I didn't even see that while I was recording. So I'm just now seeing this live. So now my intuition is telling me, all right, bet somebody gonna wake this up because there's something going on secretly in this Joe Budden sphere between Joe and QueenzFlip that we really don't know. It could be contractual, it could be business, it could be suspensions, it could be firing. We don't know. I was leaning more towards a suspension for getting arrested, and you weren't supposed to get arrested. And Joe Budden, I remember Joe Budden a lot of times speaking to Queens and about the contracts or whatever. I remember Queens always saying too that he can't get arrested, he can't fight, he can't go search up people or go to people's houses and stuff like that. That's the type of stuff he would say. So he breached probably a couple of stuff on his contract, and I feel like that's probably why he either got suspended or fired. But I'm leaning towards fired now because of how he's interacting with people, and he's really not good at keeping stuff under tuck or hiding stuff or hiding his emotion. He's really like easy to read in a sense. You know what I'm saying? He puts it all on the grill. You know what I'm saying? So basically, Ian is basically like, why are you mad in the first place? Like, why are you trying to create something in the first place? Is there something brewing? So that was a question mark. So I know if it's a question mark, Queen's gonna respond because that's what he's just gonna do. You know what I'm saying? He's not gonna bite his tongue. So a lot of this stuff got me to speculating. It got me to even creating this video to where I really had to break it down for the peoples, like what's really going on. Because he even posted a GIF that he's driving and look like he's crashing out. Because, people say crash out, they look like he's driving, screaming and stuff like that. And then he put the demon emoji. Now, Queens is a great entertainer. So he probably is using all of this to also promote his brand, which I'm pretty sure that's why he tagged Flip the Script Pod or even talked about his pod. Because I feel like he's just always going to promote his brand. That's what he do. So it could be that. Or it could be real issues. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I try my best to basically cryptically break down these tweets that really doesn't give us as much information. You kind of have to have your intuition on top of the little information that you kind of already know. And I basically came to the conclusion that Flip might be fired. He might actually be fired. I thought he was suspended, but I think he might be fired. And the reason why I think he's fired is because I think he breached his contract by getting arrested. And yeah, I feel like that's what it was. And maybe they had a conversation behind the scenes, a personal conversation, and it might have got nasty, or it might have got like, oh no, I'm gonna just do my own stuff. Like that type of energy, like, oh, I'm done, I don't even care, I'm gonna do my own stuff type energy. I don't know. That's the feeling I'm getting. He's too snappy for me to think, because he's usually always in line, like, oh, like I don't want to say, like, you know what I'm saying? He always in line when it comes to talking or tweeting to Joe and Ian. Specifically them, because those are people he worked with, or Ian specifically because that was his boss. Now he not talking to Ian like that's his boss. That's what I'm saying, y'all. Peep that. He's not talking to Ian like he's boss no more. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. It's me, my boy, Alphamediaroom. You know what I'm saying? We keep it objective. We keep it real. We keep it authentic. We cover all things media. We the pioneer of this. You know what I'm saying? New age media. Let's get it. Peace.